Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are all having a happy Easter. I'm coming to you on Easter Sunday, 2022. Um, an extended maple season. We're in overtime. We're getting bonus days here. And I'm here at the shop, the old world headquarters, to boil some syrup, sap, make syrup today. And I thought I'd do a little short video on how the startup process, the steps that I go through to make syrup. Yeah, that's it. I haven't done a video in a while. I've done some shorts, and just when I get really, really busy, and because I am kind of I do have my hands into everything here, and it's really hard to set a camera up and tape everything when you got a ton of stuff to do. But this is Sunday, and I won't be as pressed today, so join me. Let's get right into that. All right, I got the old pan washer going. That's what that thing is. Had that going overnight. And it's still got some work to do. Those things, they're okay, but you still got to get in there and scrub. Take a look over here. Yesterday we did some bottling. That's the new bottling machine. I'll do a video about that sometime when we get that thing going. Some barrels of syrup over there. And then this is the room back here where we have the evaporator we boil. This is the 3.5 by 14 Dominion and Grimm natural gas. If you told me, Maple Dude, hey, you can continue to make maple syrup, but you got to do it on wood fire, I have a different career path at that point. It's a game changer. It's so much cleaner here in the shop without having to bring wood in and the ash and the soot and all that stuff. It's really, really a huge improvement from when I went to this system. So let's go outside and take a look at the sap tanks. Here's my old wagon full of the filter press papers and the DE. That's kind of from the entirety of the season. That's a lot, and it's really heavy, and I really never know what to do with that. Anybody, what do you do with yours? And there's my pickup. We haul sap with that. Here's the sap storage that we got on the back side of the building. I think we've pretty much got all 5 of these tanks full. They're about 1,300 gallons each. This is on the back side, so let's crawl up in there. And you can see, here's sap in here. They're all full. It got cold last night. I'm expecting it to run today. And I mean, like I said, this is getting to be a late season, but a good season. It started out really poor, but we're doing good now. I mean, you can't complain at all, at least here in central Wisconsin. Here's my maze of valves, how everything is connected back here and how it's piped into the RO machine right here. So I've got to turn one on. More than likely, this is going to be frozen. Maybe not. Yep, you can hear the sap go. That's good. It got pretty cold last night, but I guess that sap was warm enough that it didn't freeze solid. Right here's my 2 permeate tanks. So we're going to go into the RO room next, and we'll start that up. But that's where the water that gets removed goes. This is a H2O. We've got 5 8-inch membranes on this. And I upgraded that this year with the 5th membrane. And it really helped a lot. I like it. And you can see my reflection in that. My beautiful reflection in the stainless steel. This is your permeate This is your concentrate. And when it's running good, it's doing over 30 gallons per minute. So that really burns through one of those tanks out there pretty quickly in about 45 minutes. So you can really move sap. You can really make some room. And I also went up to concentrating at about 19% this season. And that is new. I used to do about 16, and it's really another game changer like the natural gas. Doing about 19% concentrate really speeds things up again, and you make a lot of syrup per hour. So we got to have that on concentrate. That's where it is. I kind of set this up last night in anticipation of coming in here. We got to turn this valve over to concentrate. Other than that, we got to turn it on. I have to turn on a pump over here to get the sap flowing. But yeah, hey, let's get right into this. Gotta let some air, purge some air out of that pre-filter to get the sap going over to the RO. Because it's got a lot of pipe to go through to get here. There it goes. Then what you do is you turn up the pressure control first. That puts a little pressure on the membranes, and I am just initially trying to get the water that was in the machine out, and pretty soon we'll shut it down again to divert valves to go to the feed tank for the evaporator. Okay, so now that I flushed the water out of it, I just have to turn these valves back here. That'll send concentrate to our feed tank for the evaporator. And this will send the permeate or the pure water out to those two white plastic tanks. See, I'm putting that pressure on that membrane by turning that valve down tighter, and that brings up the concentrate level. And I will adjust that a little bit later further, but here's where it goes. Right up there is where the concentrate goes. That's my feed tank for this evaporator. And then that goes through piping over here, and it feeds the Flue Pan through this float box, which there's nothing in here right now. I gave this thing a quick cleaning yesterday in anticipation of kind of our couple last final boils for the year. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm just waiting for that feed tank up there to get enough in there to feed this evaporator, because right now the Flue Pan in there has nothing in it, so it's going to take a lot of concentrate to fill that, and then to get a bunch up there to have enough to keep feeding it to get it going. But we'll be making some syrup today, so it's a beautiful day out. I'm working. I hope you're having a great day with your family and your friends. It's probably going to be about a 6-week season. Started out slow, ended out really strong. So here's the concentrate going up into the feed tank. And that's that really highly concentrated stuff. If you drank some of that, it'd be just like drinking a really sugary mixture. It's quite powerful. That's the water going into one of the permeate tanks. You kind of see the shadow of it there. That's going in there at a much higher rate than the concentrate tank, of course. Here's the sap tank that it's drawing out of. Take a look at how far it's already gone down. So that thing really moves along. Got my phone right over this. I'm doing it with my phone, so I don't want to drop that in there. And guys, what you're looking at here is a notebook where I keep logs of the performance of the RO. It's just a good thing to do so you know how your machine is performing and running, and when you need to do special types of washes like acid washes and things like that. It's going in there at 8.5 degrees Celsius today. So the sap's pretty cold. There are the stacks for the evaporator, the exhaust, and the 2 steam stacks. So let's take a look inside the flue pan. I'll show you that while we're waiting for that feed tank to get fuller so we can start this thing up. So in there are the flues. That's what does the heavy duty boiling. These things get dirty. I mean, I cleaned it up a little yesterday, but you can't ever get them really clean when you're busy. That's kind of an off-season thing. You get that spick and span and shiny and new again. I just take all the weight off that so this thing goes full throttle. That is a burner shutoff, and what that'll do is if the sap level gets too low in the pans, it'll shut off the burner, so it's kind of an insurance policy. Here's the auto draw off. Back here, this is an auto defoamer. So what I do is I turn that on, and that will pump the defoamer into the flue pan at predetermined intervals to keep it from foaming and boiling over, and it gives you a more consistent boil. And here's the syrup pans. I did have a little bit of residual syrup to put in there, or partial syrup, so we'll get a little syrup off right away pretty quickly when we start boiling. I'm going to crack the valve open and we'll let that start entering the flue pan. And there it comes. So what that's going to do is that's going to go in there and fill and fill and fill this flue pan, like I showed you the inside before, until this float comes up and shuts it off like that. But it's got a long ways to go to get there. Let's go over here into the storage room and I'll kind of show you what we've done thus far this season. So here's syrup that we've made, and there's additional in the other room, but this is shaping up to be a very, very good year, like I keep saying. And again, I did not think it was going to be a good year at all. I was literally thinking this was going to be a huge bust. But thank God that it did turn around, because I'm able to continue the Maple Dude World Domination Tour. Let's kind of get this filter press ready. So this is the tank that the syrup will go into when it gets finished off the evaporator. Then I've got a 10-inch air diaphragm pump filter press, and I got the papers already in there. I got that ready yesterday. And then here's a drum that I'm going to fill. Take the cap off. And then this thing is a drum filling attachment, I guess. And what that is as the syrup gets filtered and comes through this hose, it'll go into this drum first. I'll attach that on there. And then this other end is a hook, and you can put that into a second drum so you don't overfill that one and have syrup going on the floor. That's how it's supposed to work. I've had syrup going on the floor many times since I've been up here at the old world headquarters, because sometimes I got lazy and wanted to get going quicker, and I would just hook up a regular hose with a hook and I'd get busy doing other things, and then that's like money going down the drain when you see that. So this is another like little insurance policy to keep you from losing syrup. There I was just turning on the air compressor for the filter press. All right, we got enough concentrate up in that feed tank up there. let's fire this baby up right now and get this train rolling. So there isn't a lot to this. I just take this cover off. I'm doing this all one-handed. And then basically I just turn that switch on, make sure the gas valve is on. Then we go over here, and you see you got power. You switch on the on button there, and then the burner starts up and goes through its initial setup or startup routine or process, and that takes about a minute or two, I don't know, for it to go through its procedure to get going, and we'll wait for that to happen. Right there, that little click, that means it's almost ready. Woo! All right, you can hear that. It just ignited, the rocket took off. So then I just go and I turn this knob all the way up. Concentrate tank, it's emptying. That means I'm just about done. I gotta shut things down. Then what I'm doing here is I'm putting a plug to separate these two front syrup pans because I keep them from intermixing, because I'm going to be boiling tomorrow again, and that'll just help the gradient be established quicker tomorrow. Woo! That is the super nice thing about the natural gas. I just have to turn it off and the boil is gone within seconds and it's done. It's over. You can start cleaning up and going home. With wood, we used to do wood right here actually in the world headquarters. I mean, it's like an hour startup process. It's like getting a freight train going. And then on the other end, when you want to shut down at night with all the coals and the hot bricks in there and stuff, it's like trying to slow a ship down or a train down or whatever. It's like another hour process that you have to sit there and babysit with it. So natural gas, truly awesome way to boil sap. So this is a sample. It was a little loud in there. I had to come outside. This is a sample of what was just coming off the evaporator. And we do that to have representation or sample of everything that we put into the barrels. We do not sell bulk syrup. We bottle everything. So everything we make goes into bottles. It goes into sugar. It goes into cotton candy. It goes into cream, etc., etc., etc. The maple pop, you need to try that. Maple pop, it's from Wisconsin. We call it pop, not soda. You're wrong if you're saying soda. But yeah, that was a little rundown on my Samsung phone. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Maple season rolls on. central Wisconsin. Have a great week, and remember, always keep it real.